Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, verse number 49. Naveda kripana shreya atmano gunavastudrek tasyatanichyato yached yadi sopi tatha vidha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those who think material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life are called misers, kripanas. They do not know the ultimate necessity of the soul. Moreover, if one awards that which is desired by such fools, he must also be considered foolish. Purport. There are two classes of men, namely the kripana and the brahmana. A brahmana is one who knows the Brahman, the absolute truth, and who thus knows his real interest. A kripana, however, is one who has a material bodily concept of life, not knowing how to utilize his human or demigod life. A kripana is attracted by things created by the material modes of nature. The kripanas, who always desire material benefits, are foolish, whereas brahmanas, who always desire spiritual benefits, are intelligent. If a kripana, not knowing his self-interest, foolishly asks for something material, one who awards it to him is also foolish. Krishna, however, is not foolish person. He is supremely intelligent. If someone comes to Krishna asking for material benefits, Krishna does not award him the material things he desires. Instead, the Lord gives him intelligence so that he will forget his material desires and become attached to the Lord's lotus feet. In such cases, although the kripana offers prayers to Lord Krishna for material things, the Lord takes away whatever material possession the kripana has and gives him the sense to become a devotee. As stated by the Lord in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.39, Ami Vigna, ei murkhe vishaya kene diba, swacharanamrita diya vishaya bhulaiba. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take to the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. If one sincerely prays to God for material possessions in exchange for devotional service, the Lord, who is not foolish like such an unintelligent devotee, shows him special favor by taking away whatever material possessions he has and gradually giving him the intelligence to be satisfied only by rendering service to his lotus feet. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments in this regard that if a foolish child requests his mother to give him poison, the mother, being intelligent, will certainly not give him poison, even though he requests it. A materialist does not know that to accept material possessions means to accept poison or the repetition of birth and death. An intelligent person, a brahmana, aspires for liberation from material bondage. That is the real self-interest of a human being. So this is a verse being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, to all the Devatas. And here the Lord is talking about the ask made by all the Devatas. The Devatas have called the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord has appeared, being pleased with their prayers. And their prayer was that this huge demon, Vitrasura, who has appeared to destroy us all, please protect us. Please save us. Please destroy him. Quite natural when you are in a war and in front of you there's a huge demon and your life is at stake. That's the first thing that will come to your mind, how to kill the demon and how to save ourselves. Life is very precious. That's the most precious thing we possess, like our life. And in such a helpless state, it's very natural. Who can protect you when there's such a huge demon, when no weapons are working, no call, nobody else? They are the greatest Devatas. Who else can be more powerful than them? The most powerful personalities are unable to fight a demon who's even more powerful than them. So Lord is the only shelter. So it's so natural for the Devatas to pray for the Lord and call him to protect them. Isn't it? But even this prayer, at such a time, at such a helpless state, in such a situation in a war field, even such a prayer is being called by Lord Krishna here in this verse as a foolish ask. Not just a foolish ask. This prayer, Prabhupada compares it in the purport to asking some material desire which is like poison. So this is very striking that generally we know material desire. We should not pray to the Lord for material desires, for material assets, because they bind us to this material world. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha. We should not be asking all these things. But here even this prayer is being termed as an unintelligent ask. Why? Why this is unintelligent? Because the Devatas need not pray that protect me. A child who's always under the shelter of his parents need not pray to the parent, to the father, please protect me. Because the father is constantly 24/7, every second is watching the child. The child is always under the supervision of the father. And the father every moment knows what protection he needs, what he needs, what will help, what is good for him, what is bad for him. He will give only what is good and he will not give what is bad. The child needn't ask. So similarly, the Devatas, when the Lord appeared, they prayed. Somehow they prayed and the Lord appeared. Now once the Lord appeared, they prayed for protection. When the Lord appeared for protection, now and the Lord is asking, okay, now I have appeared. You prayed for me, now I have appeared. Now what do you want? So imagine the Lord has come and he's asking, what do you want? I'm ready to satisfy your desire. And they are saying the same thing, please protect us from the demons. At that point of time, they should have said, please give me ahaituki bhakti. Please give me pure devotional service. Because he has come. He's right there. Protection is a byproduct. Protection from Vritrasura would have automatically happened. But to get Krishna bhakti is not so easy. Prabhupada says Krishna can give material assets very easily, but he will not give bhakti so easily. So our only prayer to the Lord should be, please give me bhakti, please give me devotional service. Because we should be completely confident that every moment, the Lord is right there inside our heart as super soul. We must be completely confident that every moment the Lord is conscious of my pains and pleasures. The pain that I am undergoing is also being sanctioned by the Lord for my self-purification. And it's a small token of pain that the Lord is giving me. Actually, if I wouldn't have taken to Krishna consciousness, the pain that I'm presently undergoing due to my past karma, as a small token only, would have been a huge pain. Like Prabhupada gives, like an example is given, I would have lost my limb in some accident, but a small cut in the hand. And then we get disturbed, oh, blood is flowing, small cut in the hand, what should I do? We forget that actually this small cut is just a token pain. So when I'm undergoing through pains, I must actually be thanking the Lord instead of asking the Lord for relief from the pain. I must be thanking the Lord that, Lord, you've given me actually only a small pain. I know how much sinful I am. I know what my past must have been. I know my karma. And I know how much I should have undergone the pain and suffering. Instead, you're giving me just a token. Thank you very much, Lord. That is when this purport Prabhupada is writing about, that when you go and ask Krishna some material desires or some material assets or some material prayers you have, Krishna, he will not grant you those material desires. Instead, he will take it away from you. It's something very surprising. See how wonderful this devotional service is. I go and ask something from the Lord. Okay, I'm not qualified, the Lord will not give me. That's the maximum that it can happen. No, but when you take to devotional service, something else happens. When you take to devotional service sincerely, when you ask something from the Lord will say, not only I will give it to you, I will take it away from you. Now if you take it away from us, then why does the Lord take it away? The Lord takes it away so that because unless and until we are situated in a platform of helplessness, we will not surrender to the Lord. So Lord, because you are doing devotional service and the Lord sees some amount of sincerity in you, you want to advance in bhakti, but you are having desires, material desires also. Both things, when you're driving a car, you can't be pressing a brake and an accelerator. You want to accelerate, then you accelerate, not the brake. If you want to brake. So in the same way, you want bhakti and you want material desires. These are incompatible things. So Krishna is saying, now you're asking me bhakti and you're asking me material desires. What should I satisfy? I should give you bhakti. So if I have to give you bhakti, I have to take away the material desires, but you're praying for both. So anything which is an impediment in the path of bhakti, Krishna will take it away. So asking for the Lord for protection, asking for the Lord for anything but Krishna consciousness is something material. So here, in the translation, Prabhupada is writing, Lord Krishna is saying, those who think material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life. Actually, you see, it's so interesting. They have not asked actually for material possessions. They have only asked protection from Vritrasura when the Lord has come. And the translation is those who think material assets to be everything. Why? Because protect me from Vritrasura so that I can enjoy my material possessions and we can enjoy this body, we can enjoy sense gratification. So actually asking for protection means the protection should be I must be protected means not this body, my soul must be protected. What is the meaning of protection of the soul? The soul must only be engaged in devotional service and nothing else. That is real protection. Body protection, I am a Devata today. British sir, if a demon kills me, anyway the body is going to die. Anyway I am going to take birth again. I'll get a renewed body. I'll get a new body free from diseases. And again that body will die. So protection from demon or protection from some material calamity will only protect the body. It will not protect the soul. It will not give us the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So those who think material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life are called misers, kripanaha. So Prabhupada in the purport writes about the miser, the kripanaha, and the brahmanaha. The brahmana is one who knows Brahman, the absolute truth, and who knows his real self-interest. A kripana, however, is one who has a material, bodily concept of life. Not knowing how to utilize his human or demigod life, a kripanaha is attracted by things created by the material modes of nature. If a kripanaha, so kripanaha means a miser. Miser means what? Miser means a person who has a lot of money, but he doesn't want to spend the money. He just likes seeing the money. And he may be living in poverty. That's called a miser. He is very miserly. He has money, but he'll not give the money for the right work. He'll keep it with him. In the same way, what is the asset that we have? This asset that we have is this human body. Human body is sudurlabham, sulabham. Sudurlabham means very, very rare to obtain it, very difficult to obtain it. It comes after a huge, 84 lakh species, after rotating through, transmigrating through so many species, we get this human form of body. But sulabham, although it is so rare, so easily we have got it. And this human, just like money, if you have got money, you can spend it to buy something. You can spend it for a particular use. So similarly, this asset now that we have got, this human life, it's a big asset that Krishna has given us. Easily we have got it, we did not endeavor for it. And now what this human form of body must be used for? Only for Krishna bhakti, only for rendering devotional service to Krishna and for nothing else. So misers are those human beings who don't take to Krishna consciousness because it is only this asset that we have got, this human body, through which we can escape the cycle of birth and death. In no other body we have this opportunity, not even in the Devatas body. In the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes a very nice statement. The human form of life is the only loophole by which we can escape this material entanglement. You see the asset that we have got? It's like if you have a coin or if you have a currency, and just one currency, and you say that from one currency you can buy anything in the world. What a currency it is. It doesn't exist. So similarly, this human form of life that we have got, it is so valuable that is only this human form of life that can award you the benefit of going back to the spiritual world. No other form of life. So if we are doing anything but that, we are misers. Like we have this asset, but not using it in the right purpose. So if a kripana, not knowing his self-interest, what is the self-interest? Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnum. Our real self-interest is Krishna. Foolishly asks for something material, one who awards it to him is also foolish. Krishna is, however, not foolish. He is supremely intelligent. And Prabhupada quotes this verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So before that, there's one more verse. I'll read both the verses. Krishna kahe, ama bhaje, mange vishaya sukha. Amrita, he is worshipping me and asking for vishaya sukha, material sukha. Amrita chhadi visha mange, ei bada murkha. He is giving up nectar, amrita chhadi visha mange, ei bada murkha. And then it is said, Krishna is saying, Ami vignya, but I am intelligent. Ei murkhe vishaya keno diba. He's asking me poison, why will I give him poison? So what will I give him? Swacharanamrita diya vishaya bhulaiba. Ami vigya ei murkhe vishaya keno diba. Swacharanamrita diya vishaya bhulaiba. I will give him my shelter of my lotus feet, nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet, and I will make him forget these material desires. So, there is one very nice song which we sing which summarizes basically the entire translation and purport today, that how we are absorbed in material desires, material possessions, and asking the Lord for this, not knowing what is the real self-interest. And so that we will go through that song. That song is Gaura Pahu. So it is written by Narottam Das Thakur. Very beautifully he brings out the essence of what is our present state of existence, and a humble prayer to the Lord that what is my state, and to please help me out, to help me pull out from the state. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, we all know that we all know the philosophy, we all know how we have to practice, we know everything. But the most important aspect in Krishna consciousness is at heart we must remember the mood in which we have to be practicing. Generally, it is so easy to be afflicted with pride. I am big, I do so many things, I am so intelligent. Even in Krishna consciousness, we have sacrificed so many material things and come and joined, or we have taken to Krishna consciousness after some sacrifice. But even after taking to Krishna consciousness, that desire for puja, pratishtha, labha does not go away. It's like the Devatas. They want to maintain their heavenly kingdom. They cannot give it up. So we must remember that this pride is this is what is killing us. This is what is destroying us. So we must always remember that we must be doing devotional service in a very, very humble mood, praying to the Lord. Our prayer should be, Lord, I am so fallen. Lord, I am so insignificant. Lord, I am not taking to Krishna consciousness. I am such a foolish person. So this prayer goes like this. Gaura pahu na bhajiya goinu, prema ratana dhana helaya harainu. Gaura pahu, the Lord Gaura, na bhajiya, I did not worship him. How do you worship Lord Chaitanya? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And what happened? Goinu. Goinu means I have invited spiritual death. Spiritual death means not knowing I am spirit soul, and not knowing the soul's real self-interest is to surrender to Lord and to practice pure devotional service. So if I am not doing that, I am inviting spiritual death. It's very important. People just think that we die. Actually, this death is not, if you any death and birth, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, this birth and death is going on. But the actual death, everyone dies. Man is mortal. But the actual death that we are dying, which is a very high priced loss, is a spiritual death. Because in other forms of life, animal life, you die. There's nothing as spiritual death. Spiritual death is only in the human form of life. And once you die, next when we will get an opportunity, we don't know. So the spiritual death, going to mean spiritual death, that's something very serious. And why spiritual death? Further it says, Prema ratana dhana helaya harainu. we are all asked, this today's verse is about assets, material assets, dhana. So what is the dhana that we all want some possessions. So what is the possession that we ought to have? Not these material assets. It is prema ratana dhana, prema dhana. Actually, if you see, we desire material possessions, wealth. For what? Simply material possessions will not give us pleasure. Pleasure is an exchange of relationship. Loving someone, like you want to have a nice family, you want to enjoy with them, a community, you want to enjoy with them. So this prema ratana dhana, this is the real dhana. And this prema ratana dhana, helaya harainu. I have neglected, this helaya is a very important word. I have neglected worshipping Lord Gauranga and have neglected the real dhana that he gave me, this prema ratana, golo, and it's not an ordinary asset. What asset? You want material assets? Krishna is saying, I won't give you material asset, I'll give you my asset. Golo kera prema dhana. That dhana it is. Imagine what is this dhana and that dhana. Golo kera so prema ratana dhana, I neglected it and I lost it. And so spiritual death. So we must be very careful while doing our devotional service, while doing our chanting especially, because Gaura Bhajiya is by chanting. So even in chanting, we should not be neglectful, both completing our rounds and the quality. There are some nice quotes of Prabhupada. One devotee is asking, Madhu Dvesa, is there a specific way to counteract this bad quality of enviousness? Prabhupada, yes, there is a way. What is the way? Just chant Hare Krishna. Cleanse your mind. All dirty things will go. He doesn't say enviousness, he says all dirty things will go. But because you neglect to chant regularly, therefore the dirty things remain. Now somebody may be chanting regularly, but still the dirty things are remaining. So here he's talking about neglect to chant regularly. So another place, Prabhupada is saying, this is in Nectar of Devotion, lecture in Vrindavan on the book Nectar of Devotion. Actually, when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, we directly associate with Krishna, because name is the incarnation of Krishna. Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. Therefore, if we are sensible, then we should take very much respectful attitude to the name, because name and Krishna the same. Our attitude towards chanting should be very much respectful. If we are sensible, otherwise it's spiritual death. Suppose Krishna comes here, how much respectful we shall be immediately? So similarly, when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, we should know Krishna is here. Therefore, we should be very much cautious and respectful, not neglectful. That is an offense. That is an offense. If you become inattentive, that is an offense. 3 times Prabhupada says, that is an offense, that is an offense, that is an offense. And so what we should be, here is saying, if we are sensible, we must be having very much respectful attitude, we must be very much cautious and not neglectful. If you become inattentive, that is an offense. So many words Prabhupada has used. And one more, this is even higher. Here he is saying, so first level, don't neglect to chant regularly. He's only talking of regular chanting. Next level, he says, don't neglect, be very much respectful, be very much cautious, don't become inattentive. Now the final level. This he is also saying in a lecture on Bhagavad Gita. We should take from the Shastras the real path. Then we shall become intelligent. Sumedhasaha. Yagne Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasaha. The shortcut method. Intelligent class of people will take to this Sankirtana movement for the spiritual elevation of life. It is not, it is a fact. It is scientific. It is authorized. See, so many things he's saying. It is scientific, it is a fact, it is authorized, so don't neglect. Generally, when do we neglect some things? May not be very important, may not be logically making sense, may not be practical, may not be scientific, so we neglect. You see, chanting, it is the shortcut method, it is the actual fact of life for elevation to Krishna consciousness, it is scientific, it is authorized. So Prabhupada is giving you reasons why we should not neglect. So don't neglect. And then he says, take this chanting of Hare Krishna, heart and soul. This is everything. So that is Prema Ratana Dhana Helaya Harainu. And then the next verse, Adhane Yatana Kori Dhana Teyaginu Apana Karama Doshe Apani Dubinu. Adhane Yatana Kori. I am doing yatan for adhan. Just see the foolishness. Nobody does. Yatan means endeavor for adhan. What is we do yatan for dhana, not for adhana. But all material possessions are adhana. Adhana yatana kori dhana teyaginu. The real dhana I have, folks, I have lost. In some simple example, suppose somebody tells you how everything material is adhan. Suppose somebody on your birthday, they gift you a Mercedes car, free. Nobody gifts generally a Mercedes car. You'll be so happy, right? Oh my God, I got a Mercedes-Benz car for a gift on a birthday. And he says, but sir, you have to return this Mercedes car to me in 5 minutes. You can keep it with you only for 5 minutes. What is that gift, Mercedes car? It's useless, na? Adhana. So in the same way, our situation in the material world is exactly the same. We are having so many material desires and accumulating so many material assets only to lose them at the end of this life, which is not even 5 minutes when compared to our eternal life. It is a fraction of a second. And because of enjoying, what can you enjoy that Mercedes for 5 minutes? You cannot enjoy. But we are thinking, in this lifetime, we can enjoy. And actually we are not enjoying, we are suffering. And not only we are suffering, we are losing the entire future. That is we are losing the opportunity to perfect our human forms of life. We are losing the opportunity to go back to the spiritual world. Losing this life, losing next life. That is why it's called the most foolish decision to enjoy material possession or to ask for material possession. So, apani karama doshe, apani dubinu. And yatan, I'm endeavoring for this. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Satatam kirtayantumam yatantascha dridavrata. I must do yatan for kirtan. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, Nam ashraya koro yatane tumi. Thakoho apana kaje. Don't have to give up your business, your occupation, your profession, your worldly duties, whatever. But the yatan, Nam ashraya koro yatane tumi. You have to do yatan for chanting the holy name, take shelter of the holy name. That is the yatan that we should be engaged in. And then, satsanga chhadi kainu asate vilas, te karane lagi loi karma bhanda fas. These are all basically Narottam Das is saying what is our situation in this material world. So, I'm giving up association of saintly people. Prabhupada built ISKCON temple only so that the whole world gets an opportunity for sadhu sangha, for association. So satsanga chhadi koinu asate vilas. And what did I do? I engaged in sense gratification, asate vilas. And that is the reason te karane lagi loi karma bandha fas. That is the reason Maya has caught me and I am entangled in this fruit chain of fruitive activities. That is my situation right now. And then Vishaya Vishama Visha Satata Khainu Gaura Kirtana Rase Magana Nahoinu. It's a very nice line to meditate. Vishaya Vishama Visha. Visha means poison, and Vishama Visha means Vishama, big poison, dangerous poison. And what is that dangerous poison? Vishaya, the same sense gratification, or enjoying, praying for having material assets and enjoying them for my gratification. So basically, Krishna consciousness teaches us that even if we have material possessions, we should engage them in Krishna's service. If we engage material possessions in Krishna's service, then I am free from entanglement. But enjoying material possessions for my own gratification is Vishaya. That Vishaya, material assets, is Vishama Visha. Satata Khainu. And I am always engaged in sense gratification. And so that is why what is happening? The result is Gaura Kirtana Rase Magana Nahoinu. Satata Khainu Vishama, so Magana Nahoinu. I did not get any taste or any desire for chanting the holy names. We must remember what taste the holy name has. That Rupa Goswami is praying. One tongue is not sufficient to chant, 2 ears are not sufficient to hear. I want millions of tongues and billions of ears so that I can relish the rasa, the Gaura Kirtana rasa. So at least, that's why Prabhupada is saying, it is logical, it is scientific, it is practical, it is shortcut. So don't neglect, take it heart and soul. Because this is the benefit you will get. Ata dhan prema dhana, golokera prema dhana. It's a prema ratana dhana. So to get this much sacrifice has to be there. And then last he prays, Keno va achaye pran ki shukha paiya go narottama dasa keno na gelo moriya. So Keno va achaye pran. So I get an opportunity to chant, I got an opportunity for prema ratana dhana, but I neglected it and I engaged in Vishama Visha. I engaged in material possessions. So after having gotten an opportunity, after knowing the truth, after knowing what is the value of human form of life, I've still neglected it and I've engaged in sense gratification. So what more can I say? Keno va achai pran. Why am I living? Ki shukha paya. What is my happiness? Narottama Dasa keno na gela moriya. Why not Narottam Das die long ago instead of enjoying all these things? So very humbly he is praying. A very helpless situation he is praying. This is my situation. So Prabhupada also says this chanting of Hare Krishna should be praying to Krishna in a helpless state. This is my state. I am most useless. I have no intelligence. I am so foolish. Please pull me out of this material existence. This is my possession. So the Devatas are praying and the Lord is, telling them about the facts of life, and further the instructions of the Lord the Lord will give a solution how the Devatas can be protected. That also he will say. So we'll end here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.